we're seeing that our professionals are being asked to be knowledgeable across so many functional areas. And they're coming to SHSMD, both bringing content to us and also wanting to attend the conference to get a deeper understanding of that fits their specific career level.
Hard skills are vital, but soft skills make relationships, and that's the basis of our business.
With keynote speakers, it's always, we want to inspire people, right? We want to refill their cups because let's face it, how many years now have we been saying that it's tough in healthcare? And so we need that too, that re-energization to be able to go back and do it for another year, for another trip around the sun until next fall when we can come back and hopefully have our cups refilled again.
Try to fix the current system or reimagine something new. Will healthcare ever serve consumers just like me and you? The power's in our hands, but every side's gotta come together. We want the newer generations to get something better. Until we flip the script and talk about what gets prevented. Until we see the changes permanent as if we meant it. Until healthcare is finally consumer-centered. We've got a lot to rap about.
Welcome back to the leading podcast about how consumer health works. We spotlight how healthcare is being designed, marketed, and delivered from the consumer point of view, and profile leaders who are championing the move to preventive care. If you want to understand healthcare both as a builder or operator and as a consumer yourself, this is the place for you. Here's what's going down today. First up, I give a shout out to Blueberry Pediatrics offering called Blueberry Balance. It's the first metabolic health program built for teens. Then I welcome a panel from SHSMD, or the Society for Healthcare Strategy and Market Development, to spotlight the work that's going on with their members and give a preview of this year's SHSMD Connections Conference in September. I'm Jared Johnson. Let's get it. Hey family, today we're giving a shout out to Blueberry Pediatrics for their Balance program. Blueberry Balance is the first metabolic health program built for teens. It's fully virtual and it's designed specifically for adolescents ages 12 to 17. The $149 per month membership combines care from pediatric obesity specialists, dietitians, and health coaches, and it includes lab testing every 6 months, at-home monitoring, monthly check-ins, and unlimited care team visits. Teens who meet clinical requirements, providers can also prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 medications such as Wegovy or Zepbound, although medication costs are not included in that cost. The program is FSA and HSA eligible. It requires no referrals, and it's currently available in a few states, including Arizona, California, Florida, Illinois, Michigan, New York, and Texas. This is an area where there seems to be a surprising lack of choices today, so I was intrigued to learn about it since we're all about highlighting the innovations that are going on here in the wrap community. If you'd like your product or service to be featured in an upcoming shout out, hit me up on LinkedIn. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in consumer health, and we love highlighting our favorites.
All right, hey, let's get to the flow, y'all. Today, I have a panel of guests here with me to spotlight the work that's going on with SHSMD's members and leadership, and to give a preview of this year's SHSMD's Connections Conference in September this year. So let me welcome our guests one at a time, and then I'll give you a little bit about kind of what we plan to do with the three of them. This is going to be a lot of fun. First, we have Evan Williams. He's the Executive Director of SHSMD. Welcome, Evan.
Thank you.
We also have Dorian Harriston. She's the President-elect. She's the SVP and Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for the Morehouse School of Medicine. Dorian, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Evan.
And we have Julia Yoder, who's a board member with SHSMD as well. She's the Marketing and PR Director at Brookings Health System. Julia, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Jared.
So I mentioned I want to give you a little bit more time, just a little bit of an intro in terms of kind of who you are and what you do, especially as related to the membership with SHSMD and your position on the board and or executive director. So let's take that same order here, and then we want to dig in. Again, our focus here is kind of what you're hearing, topics that you're hearing in the field, especially from the membership. How are you addressing those topics at the conference this year? What are you looking forward to? Kind of how did you put the program together? So we'll cover each of those in detail, but just giving our listeners a bit of a sneak peek there. So with that, let's start with Evan. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking, Jared. So I'm the Executive Director of SHSMD. I come from many years of experience working for professional societies and trade associations, helping our members figure out what they need to be successful, and then working with them to deliver that. One of the things that's most exciting about working with the SHSMD audience is that we do have some real challenges facing the membership right now, and we have a great opportunity working hand in hand, not only with our professional staff, but with our terrific advisory board and our other volunteer leaders to help solve those problems and bring a real sense of not only solution, but also community to our profession. And we're looking forward to talking a little bit more about that as we go.
Thank you. Dorian, give us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I am president-elect of SHSMD, and SHSMD is the premier organization for marketing and communication strategy as well as strategists. I'd like to think we cover the gambit of your career journey from new professionals to executives as we move forward and trying to really capture all the changes that are happening right now in healthcare. The age of mistrust and all of those good things, health equity, are things that I constantly work on. So as a practitioner that's consistently working on these things, I see what's going on in the Connections Conference, and being a member of SHSMD has really assisted me in being able to better face these challenges that we are seeing every day.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here. And Julia, a little bit more about your background.
So I am a current SHSMD Advisory Board member. And in addition to that, I am also the co-chair of the small or rural work group that we have with SHSMD. And so really, I do a lot of advocating on behalf of small or rural members within the SHSMD Society, and to help bring to focus their unique needs and make sure that SHSMD is helping them as well, as far as like their education that they have for different needs and that different type of things, that those of us in strategy and marketing in small and rural organizations face.
I wanted to start off just kind of setting the table again of what you're hearing. So again, this could be anecdotally, it could be just things that you've heard multiple times from people. But as all three of you interact with other members and board members and leaders with the group, with the association, and just day to day in your work in the trenches, what are people asking? I mean, I don't want to guess and presume that I know. I mean, I have a feeling some of these themes will be very relatable and things that we hear about a lot. But yeah, what are some of those hot topics right now? Julia, maybe we can start with you on this.
Yeah. So, I think a big hot topic right now is AI. It doesn't matter what size organization you're in, AI is everything. And it's everything from how do we use AI, generative AI tools? How do we use them ethically? What rules and standards do we put in place for our organizations? How are we using them strategically to help with our workforce problems and issues that we're having? And then in addition to, how are we engaging with AI when it comes to our digital presence, and making sure that we're part of the answers, that our organizations and our solutions that we have out there for healthcare are part of the answers that are populating into these generative AI engines, whether it's people querying through ChatGPT, through Gemini, or one of those other ones that are out there. So I think that's a huge one.
For me, it's doing more with less. How can people address the fiscal challenges that are happening right now? And how can you still provide excellence and all of the support that is needed when people and resources are challenging? I also think the age of mistrust, as I said before, people don't know what's real, what's not. They need a source of truth and credible references and resources that they believe in and that can be helped. I think those are, along with what Julia said, and with AI and technology, the biggest races we're trying to run to get ahead of it to help people.
Thank you. And maybe I can even clarify on the age of mistrust. I would guess it's multiple directions or angles.
Yeah. How can you trust information when you can see it everywhere, but you're not sure what is real and what's not? I remember when Snoops, I believe it's called, was my go-to. Let me see if this is real. And now you need so much more. I mean, I need to be able to reference things more than once. Where can I find it? What are my sources? Are they credible? Even when I'm going into healthcare, I think sometimes we forget we are patients too. And so how do I address the needs that I have as a patient in order for people to be able to trust my organization or trust others as we talk about the larger SHSMD? And I think that's what we are trying to address. What problems are you having in real time, and how can this conference assist you in that?
I
And
love
to
that.
add on to what Dorian said too, there with that whole level of trust is authenticity. So going back to AI and the whole idea of misinformation, how can you tell that what you are getting as far as data and information to you is authentic, especially in this generative AI world that we have? And then even, we're still battling fake news, right? That's out there as well. So many of us also wear, the PR hat in addition to marketing and strategy and those types of things. And so that's a reality, is that people aren't believing what they see or read. And like Dorian was saying, where do you go for that credible information to make sure that you have what you need? And so it's an ongoing battle.
As we look at what our members are asking us about and what they're looking to come to our conference for, one of it is that sense of community and that trusted source of learning directly from their peers, and also in that trust environment, very specific practical ways to implement tools and technology. There's certainly some fatigue around artificial intelligence and what that means. And much of it is around people want to know now, how do I implement something today in my organization that will positively impact the mission of what we're trying to accomplish? And one of the things that we're bringing to our members and attendees in our conference is that type of practical, deliverable information, a little less theory and a little bit more actionable.
I'd love to hear, how specifically that's working right now in terms of, how do you find, I guess maybe this is a more general question. When you hear something from SHSMD, it's a trusted authority is where I'm going with that, right? So I just know that's not easy to play that role and to continually build on that as a trusted resource. I'm just curious, how you find that working, and maybe like channel wise or format wise, are there certain ways that you package up information that you find are helping you stay that trusted resource?
Being affiliated with the American Hospital Association is really the part that people know this is real. This society is one that is aligned with where healthcare is going. These are the people on the ground. These are the people that are doing the work to help make everybody well. And so I think that's an extension of everything that the American Hospital Association stands for, and it's one facet that helps us to stay grounded on the latest trends, the latest news, the latest resources that will help people to get ahead when everyone is just trying to support and do the service and the work that needs to be done.
And I think another thing that the conference offers too is that authenticity, right? So you meet real people in real time. There is nothing virtual about it and those things, which I think after the pandemic, everybody got very fatigued about that. And so again, I go back and use that word authenticity, that there is something very authentic and unique about that. And I will say, with all of the years that I have attended SHSMD, the greatest minds in healthcare strategy and marketing are there. And it's refreshing to be able to engage with them in real time and also be able to pick those greatest minds too, as well, right? And try to glean information from them that I can apply almost immediately right away within my own organization.
It's so true. I can say I've figured it out. Like, this will be my 10th year attending the conference myself. And so I would validate that. I mean, it's those who come together there. This really is a place where really serendipitous things happen. And it's very rare to have that same collection of people in the same room at the same time. So yeah, absolutely. That's been my experience as well.
And that attending the conference, I've met peers and colleagues that have helped me work through some of the issues, even though I wasn't at their organization. And I think that peer network and that connection and even the mentorship has helped to me to grow and has really provided me with a lot more knowledge than I would have had. I love to be amongst people who are doing great things because it always encourages me to do great things. And so did you find that you met so many people that were able to help you as you went along or just be an ear for you, Jared or Julia?
I mean, yeah, in my case, yeah, 10 years ago, I was at a provider. I was at a children's hospital, and I felt like that was kind of the beginning of my professional networking journey of being able to feel like today who I can call on or send out an email or text of, hey, I have a question on something. I felt like it was very foundational in that. And yes, it does take a lot of work. Just speaking, from my own point of view, it does take a lot of work yourself to put yourself out there and to network with others, but the reward is very very important, and you do see it in that day to day work. Just being able to have that feeling of having that tribe around you. So that's definitely been my experience.
And to add on to that, I think one thing that I've really come to enjoy is not just like what I take away and get for knowledge, but what I am able to share and to help with others. That's one thing that I will say about SHSMD is that it's very collegial, right? Everybody is willing to help one another. We're all in the same healthcare boat together. We all have plenty of patients to take care of. We all have the same or very similar challenges. And so, we're not above that we think we're superior as far as our plans or anything like that. Like we're willing to help one another out.
Evan, tell us about putting the program together for this year's conference in terms of you get a lot of submissions. I know. I would guess you can usually start picking up on themes pretty quickly going through those. But yeah, just tell us about some of the topics you were seeing more often and just other things you noticed while putting the program together this year.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We're blessed, of course, to have such a vibrant community who wants to contribute. And as Julia mentioned, there's a lot of folks who want to give back in relation to the type of information that they can bring and share with their colleagues and peers. So we always have to say when it comes down to choosing the final programs, it's extraordinarily difficult because of the quality, not only of the people, but of the content that's been provided. One of the top trends that we saw this year was particularly around artificial intelligence and not so much AI itself, but how artificial intelligence is working its way into so many of the work processes that we see not only within our community, but healthcare and daily life in general. And so really looking at that through a lens of maybe the conversation isn't around AI, but how is artificial intelligence impacting that? And what are the things that you need to know and take back to your organization when that comes? So that was a really strong theme that came through a lot of our submissions. But a couple other things that we're seeing right now is a lot of focus on innovation and cross-disciplinary work across the field. We're seeing that individuals, in part, because our profession has started to grow in terms of all of the things that it does on a day-to-day basis, but also is what Dorian mentioned earlier about doing more with less. We're seeing that our professionals are being asked to be knowledgeable across so many functional areas. And they're coming to SHSMD, both bringing content to us and also wanting to attend the conference to get a deeper understanding of that fits their specific career level. And one of the things that we're proud of with our conference is that we do ensure that there is content, whether you're earlier in your career, you're at the middle stage, you're at a senior leader level, you're going to find the right content that fits what you're looking for. And you're also going to have that opportunity to meet people that are across different disciplines. And then one other thing that I'll notice is, or I'll mention about the type of content people are looking for is how to best measure the business value that we're providing and how do we deliver and document the return on investment that we're bringing to our health systems, also the communities that we serve. So those are some of the key trends that we're seeing in terms of content and what you'll see us deliver in Baltimore in just a few short weeks.
I will mention just for our viewers and listeners a couple of the things that are exciting for me. One is the keynote speakers who you have lined up this year. There are 3 keynotes that I see on the website. The first one is Candida Rodriguez and Matthew Moore. They're talking about improvising. So improvisational principles. Dying to hear more about that. The second one was Jason Wolf. Many know him as with his work with the Barrel Institute. So just an evangelist for improving the patient experience, talking about reframing growth through human experience. And then Sherry Jacobs wraps it up with at the closing keynote, at the closing luncheon, talking about the unexpected power of boundaries. And I'm curious how those kind of worked into the program itself, and just what you would hope attendees will get out of these keynotes.
I hope that they get a well-rounded view of how to do their jobs more efficiently and in just a better way. We're all looking to work smarter, not harder. Improvisation, who couldn't use a little bit of those skills when we're always called to the carpet immediately and have to think on our feet? I think that when we think about keynote speakers, we try to make sure that we get a variety of people that have an expansive knowledge base that can help us in some ways, because hard skills are vital, but soft skills make relationships, and that's the basis of our business. And so I think being able to be well-rounded and expand the knowledge and show you how it can be used even outside of the industry is something that we try to make unique.
Just to add on to that, I think too, with keynote speakers, it's always, we want to inspire people, right? We want to refill their cups, because let's face it, how many years now have we been saying that it's tough in healthcare? And so we need that too, that re-energization to be able to go back and do it for another year, for another trip around the sun until next fall, when we can come back and hopefully have our cups refilled again.
All right. We have time to go back around one more time with each of you to hear anything else we haven't mentioned that you just want to share with our followers about the conference, the association, and just the work that's being done in this field. Any of those things. I'll go in reverse order this time. Let's start with Julia, then Dorian, and then Evan.
So I would say regarding SHSMD, what I would like people to remember is that if you're a member, you get out of the membership what you put into it. And by that, I mean, like, if you want to see content on a certain area, then volunteer to be a part of the conference, team that helps to pick those. Or even better yet, if you have a great success story, put in for conference a submission for it, and see if you get accepted, so that way you can share it, because that's a big part of what this is peers learning from peers. And so really, to get the most out of your SHSMD experience, think about it as, how can you contribute to the community as well?
Great, Julia. Hard act to follow. I would probably say, I want people to remember that your SHSMD membership gives you so much. You're able to access information from the American Hospital Association. You're able to access all the wonderful resources, education, programming that we have in SHSMD. And when you're coming to the conference, if hopefully you can come and your budget allows, you will make sure to get that virtual option so you can take that back to a member of your team or to your teams, because there's also the virtual option. I know budgets are tight right now, but it is important that you become engaged, or at least become a member, so that you can share I got the online programs for my teams because I could not afford to take everyone I wanted to take. But I wanted to make sure they got either a certificate or a credential. Don't forget about the resources that SHSMD has. It's going to be important for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you both so much for sharing that information. I really want to convey that we are here for you. We understand that it's a challenging environment right now and that you need solutions now. And if we don't have them right now, we are working to get them, and you can be part of helping us solve that problem. We are working hard to be available to you year round. We know that not everybody can attend in person. Dorian walked through a number of the key resources that we have available to you, and we're really looking to engage regularly, take part in our Catalyst conversations, in our online community, There's a lot of ways that we can continue to communicate throughout the year to help you solve problems outside of just this anchor experience that we have coming up in Baltimore.
Well, thank you all for sharing this. I'm looking forward to seeing you all there in Baltimore here in just a few weeks, and appreciate just giving us a sneak peek of what's to come. And I'll echo the thought of you get out what you put in. So Julia, Dorian, Evan, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much,
so much.
Jared. It's been a pleasure.